All right, it is time. This is the Infinite Investment Game. I talk about alternative investments and collectibles. This is not any kind of professional finance advice or investment advice, but I think this is really important to uncover some of the truths in the sports card hobby and things that people are just blatantly ignoring. So today I want to talk about two specific YouTubers and influencers in the sports car hobby. But before we go into that, please like, comment, and subscribe and share with other people. And the comments are very important because I want to know what you want me to talk about next. I'm actually making videos pretty far in advance because I'm trying to basically have a video every single day. But let's go ahead and get into it. So, my issue is with two. The first one is Sports Card Invest. The reason why I have an issue with Sports Card Invest is because there are a couple of things. The first few won't be that big of a deal, but I think the other ones are very detrimental to the hobby, and I think they're part of what's wrong with the sports car hobby. And more people need to step up and say something because this is ridiculous. So the first thing is Sports Card Invest. He has kind of a large following. I don't know, like 45,000 subscribers. I don't know how many people or how many bots are there out of that. I don't know if it's 10%, 90%, whatever. Uh, Probably a big reason why they have more subscribers than most other ones because maybe they start their channel a little bit earlier than most people, and also because it's Sports Card Invest, which is very similar to Sports Card Investor, and they probably confused the two. And they've got a lot of golf's followers in a sense or subscribers, which is great, good for them. But that's not really a big deal. The big deal is that they are really giving bad advice, right? Like it's one of those things where you're telling people, okay, buy base cards is a great investment, even long term hold. You use those things, people go buy base cards. So it's like it's a long term hold. I'm gonna invest in the long term, and I'm gonna put it in my safe, whatever, and I'm not even gonna think about it, right? That's what long term is, right? And then a day later, a few weeks later, it's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't buy this base card. Um, you know, First, this person in particular is a flipper, and probably they do get some money from their YouTube channel, and then whatever money they have personally to invest in a lot of their cards, and then when everything goes up, it kind of seems like you're telling the truth because everything is going up, and just really bad telling people to invest in James Harden, his 2009 tops, Chrome or whatever, or high end cards. But that stuff is taking a beating in the past year and saying, "Oh, that's a great investment." No, it's a pretty horrible investment. I mean, you probably shouldn't be buying James Harden cards until he retires and no one's thinking about him because this stuff is overly inflated. And there are guys who are ultra modern that he tells people has been going up, and he's like, "Oh, I think that's a really good investment," and those guys won't accomplish half of as much as James Harden and won't even be as popular as James Harden. So that's the issue. You know, the biggest issue I've had is this whole thing with getting people to pay for picks, card picks, right? Like it's easy when everything's going up, and really the person isn't even like benefiting or adding something to the hobby because I believe they use market movers where they just buy from Golf Wilson. Number two, I don't really think they do much research at all, to be honest with you. And number three, last I checked, the people that follow this person and the people who I guess subscribe to the service are very new and they're gullible. And they're just taking he's just taking advantage of these people, and they are spending money on his membership service, and they are probably losing money right now, right? Because the stuff that they're buying isn't going up for the most part, right? You have to actually spend time and investing, quote unquote, on players that are playing are really risky, especially if they've been playing for the last 5 to 10 years. All kind of stuff can happen, right? Or if they've been drafting the last few years. Like, you don't know how good they're going to be. Hell, this person even mentioned, 2003 Topps Chrome PSA 10 LeBron James base card. Great. Buy it for $20K. It's going to be $100,000. You know what it is now? It's $7K. People who are buying from even $10K, things are a good buy. If you've been buying from $10K, listen to Sports Card Invest, all the way to $46K, you lost money. Even at $8K, you lost money. Even if you bought it at $7K and it's still $7K, if you go try to sell it, guess what? If it's an online platform, there's fees involved. There's, probably taxes if you actually somehow made a profit. So, and then you probably would have been better off putting your money in, I don't know. I know a lot of assets are down now, but you probably could have spent it on stocks that give a dividend. At least you're getting money back, right? Like, stocks are down, but I mean, stocks that give really nice dividends aren't. Like, you still get money, like, from the dividend. So anyway, or you just go spend that time instead of looking at YouTube or whatever, trying to do sports cards, like, just go get a second job, work a second job and make extra money. Hell, like, put it like you might as well keep it in cash, right? Inflation is eating up like cards too, and cards are going down. So that's the issue. And despite cards pretty much have like crashed almost twice, and things are, a lot of stuff is down 80-90%. Like, most stuff is down actually, and that index is deceptive. Like, the index isn't most cards. The index is like 1% of cards, and that's 1% of cards most people don't have, and probably aren't buying from the Sports Card Invest. I really like the one that's like 1981 Topps Joe Montana PSA 10. I really like that. Buy for $65K, I think. And or recommended when it was like $65K and it's gonna go up. Cool. I'm pretty sure people bought it at $75K, and it did go to $106K. When you have enough followers and you have enough people who have the means to buy cards, just listen to what you say, just buy it. It's just gonna automatically go up, right? Because you're manipulating the market, because you're hyping it, you're creating the demand for the flipping, and somebody else is holding the bag. And you know what? It's really nice because it's $70K, and it's probably gonna get to $50K because all these prices are so inflated. If there's a recession, it's probably gonna be $50K. And it's like, oh, you should have sold it. But then you kind of like, in a lot of your videos, talking about, oh, this is a long-term hold. Which is it? Is it a flip? Is it a long-term hold? Well, you got to figure out what you want to do. It's not really my responsibility. Listen, people shouldn't be listening to this person at all because he's not helping anybody. The other person, sports card consultant, less followers, hype as hell, top cards going up, top cards. They even stopped doing top cards going down. That should be easy, right? Football, basketball, and maybe baseball. And recommending stuff. And it's like, oh, I recommend people to buy this or buy that. And there's been crappy buys. A lot of it's been base cards. Some have been refractor stuff, but even that stuff is overpriced and unwanted. And when things have 10x or 20x, right? Like, even like Luka base, when it was like at $1,000, this person's like, oh, buy it. Why? Pop counts are going up all the time. I don't get why. They're not good for the hobby. And all the people to call out, is got to call out these people because they're taking advantage of people, having people pay for their service, and they're losing people money, right? And it's like, oh, well, so it happens sometimes. We got other guys who are making money. No, you were making money, and maybe a couple of your friends who are making money, who are buying the stuff up, coming up with stuff to like say, oh, this is what you want to buy, and you sell that stuff to them, right? You pump and dump, basically. You pump and dump. And you do that throughout the entire market. and it's going to eventually catch up with these people, and I hope it does. But yeah, tell me what you think. If you have an issue with what I'm saying, please comment below.